plan to have who will be the first quarterback in the game?
Shedeur. Yeah.
Is Dylan Gabriel going to be like second quarter? He's out there because Flacco just needs a minute in the blue tent.
Yeah, that feels likely.
And if it's Shedeur Sanders and he starts balling,
then what?
Everything changes in a
whole
bat of an
season,
eye.
Yeah.
He's going in there, he's working hard, he's trying to improve every day. He's saying all the right things, trying to elevate his level of play. And remember, up until this past weekend, we did think there was a legitimate argument that he should have been higher on the depth chart than Dylan Gabriel because he performed better against Carolina than Dylan Gabriel had performed in the preseason game against the Eagles. It's just that obviously he nosedived over this last week, and so the tenor of the conversation changed. He really hasn't done anything. I mean, he hasn't gotten in any trouble. I mean, he hasn't been saying the wrong things. He hasn't been a less than a model citizen focused on, being the best that he can be. He hasn't done anything. So I think that when we look at it, he's going in there, he's working hard, he's trying to improve every day.
Could Kevin Stefanski's latest quarterback shakeup be the spark that ignites Shedeur Sanders' NFL career, or the move that buries him deeper in Cleveland's chaotic depth chart? Just days ago, the Browns coach dropped a bombshell announcement that's got fans, analysts, and insiders buzzing with wild theories. From a surprising QB2 pick to a veteran signing that screams insurance policy, this story is packed with twists, trade whispers, and questions about who's really calling the shots. Let's break down the madness that's turning the Browns quarterback room into the league's hottest soap opera.
I like the fact that they have him there. I think he'll be good in practice. He'll be good for some of those younger guys in helping them to prepare for a game and whatnot. And he's just also a really good guy.
It all came to a head on August 26, 2025, when Stefanski laid out the Browns' quarterback pecking order for the upcoming season. Veteran Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old gunslinger with Super Bowl pedigree, locks down the starting spot. No shocker there, given his steady hand and familiarity with the system. But the real eyebrow raiser? Rookie Dylan Gabriel snags the QB2 role, edging out high-profile fifth-rounder Shedeur Sanders, who's relegated to QB3 as the emergency option. Sanders will suit up for games, ready to step in if chaos hits, but he's not the first backup call. Stefanski framed it as a merit-based choice, pointing to comprehensive evaluations from practices, meetings, and preseason snaps. This setup came after trading Kenny Pickett to Las Vegas, thinning the room and forcing a clear hierarchy. Insiders note it aligns with the Browns' win-now push, but it leaves lingering doubts about long-term plans. What seemed like a wide-open competition boiled down to this: Gabriel's poise trumping Sanders' flash, at least for now.
He really hasn't done anything. I mean, he hasn't gotten in any trouble. I mean, he hasn't been saying the wrong things. He hasn't been a less than a model citizen focused on, being the best that he can be. He hasn't done anything. So I think that when we look at it, he's going in there, he's working hard, he's trying to improve every day.
Sanders' path to this point has been a wild ride, full of highs that teased stardom and lows that exposed rookie growing pains. Bursting onto the scene in the preseason opener against the Panthers, he dazzled without first-team reps, going 14 of 23 for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 106.8 passer rating, plus scrambling for 19 yards. It was the kind of debut that had Deion Sanders tweeting praise and fans dreaming of a franchise savior. But the finale against the Rams flipped the script, sacked 5 times for minus 42 yards, a fumble, and just 14 passing yards in a brutal outing that highlighted protection issues and decision-making under duress. An oblique strain sidelined him briefly, limiting his momentum, but Stefanski insists he's committed to Sanders' growth, treating him like any rookie hungry to improve. Analysts point out his college pedigree, over 3,200 yards and 27 TDs at Colorado, but stress NFL adjustments like pocket presence. This QB3 tag isn't a death sentence. It's a challenge, with whispers that consistent practice could vault him up if opportunities arise.
He's going in there, he's working hard, he's trying to improve every day. He's saying all the right things, trying to elevate his level of play. And remember, up until this past weekend, we did think there was a legitimate argument that he should have been higher on the depth chart than Dylan Gabriel because he performed better against Carolina than Dylan Gabriel had performed in the preseason game against the Eagles. It's just that obviously he nosedived over this last week, and so the tenor of the conversation changed.
Gabriel's ascent to QB2 wasn't handed to him. It was earned through a preseason that showcased his grit and quick reads, traits that meshed with Stefanski's scheme scheme. The third-round pick impressed with a touchdown drive in the finale, outshining Sanders in raw efficiency despite his own setbacks. But here's where it gets juicy. At 5'11", Gabriel's size draws constant scrutiny, with experts like Mike Tannenbaum and Nick Wright calling it a cardinal sin for quarterbacks, potentially limiting his vision over linemen and durability against hits. This physical knock has fueled trade buzz, especially after Pickett's move opened eyes league-wide. Reports suggest multiple teams are sniffing around Gabriel as a developmental backup, seeing value in his poise but wary of the height hurdle. If a deal materializes, it could catapult Sanders straight to QB2, turning this depth chart into a temporary setup. Florio notes this reduces competition but opens doors for Sanders, while Eisen predicts a mid-season flip if Gabriel departs. The speculation is rampant. Is Cleveland grooming Gabriel for a flip or protecting him as Flacco's heir?
I don't concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better. And that's what we'll stay committed to, and that's what's important to me.
Adding fuel to the fire, the Browns signed veteran Bailey Zappe to the practice squad on August 27th, a move billed as pure insurance but one that's got everyone second-guessing Sanders' security. Zappe, a former Patriots and Chiefs backup with starting experience, joins as the fourth arm in the room, ready to elevate if injuries strike. Stefanski downplayed it as depth building, praising Zappe's practice value and mentorship for the rookies. But insiders like Tony Grossi hint it could bump Sanders further if Gabriel's traded, potentially making Zappe the new QB3. This came days after finalizing the 53-man roster, signaling caution amid a tough schedule. Fans see it as a safety net for Flacco's age and the youngster's inexperience, but critics whisper it's a subtle vote of no confidence in Sanders' readiness. Zappe's not a star, but his game manager style fits Stefanski's offense, sparking debates. Is this precautionary or a sign Sanders needs more seasoning? The addition intensifies the room's competition, with some viewing it as protection against the Browns' QB curse of constant churn. Stefanski's tune on Sanders has evolved noticeably, shifting from tough love critiques to outright endorsements of his upside. Early on, the coach brushed off external hype, focusing on fundamentals, but post-Pickett trade, he's doubled down on Sanders' development, saying, "I'm committed to his development just like all our rookies." This pivot aligns with glowing takes from heavyweights like Stephen A. Smith, who hailed Sanders' steady progress and tremendous potential, noting he stayed out of trouble, communicated well, and shown flashes that outpaced Gabriel pre-finale. Mike Florio adds that Sanders is untouchable due to his massive following, trading him risks fan revolt. Rich Eisen goes further, predicting if Gabriel's dealt, Sanders could seize QB2 and eventually starter duties mid-season. These voices underscore Sanders' natural tools, arm strength, mobility, and poise under scrutiny as Coach Prime's son. Yet, setbacks like the Rams game remind that growth takes time. Stefanski's stance now feels like a green light, but with Zappe lurking, it's a high-stakes prove-it moment.
Gabriel, who, through no fault of his own, commits one of my cardinal sins of quarterbacking, which is he's tiny. And so, he's tiny.
The fanbase didn't take this lying down. Social media ignited with a mix of outrage, optimism, and conspiracy theories over Sanders' QB3 demotion. Posts flooded X, with some slamming Stefanski for burying talent, others praising Gabriel's merit, while questioning his size sustainability. One viral thread called it the Browns' curse striking again, tying it to the franchise's history of QB mishaps. Diehards rallied behind Sanders, sharing clips of his Panthers' heroics, and speculating sabotage to protect egos. Alumni and podcasters like Maggie and Perloff debated, is Sanders not that good yet, or does Gabriel just fit the system better? Heartbreak memes surfaced, like fans joking Sanders is overseeing stadium digs in Brook Park. Trade fears for Gabriel amplified the noise, with users warning a deal could change everything for Sanders. This backlash highlights Sanders' built-in fan army, mouth breathers or not, making him a PR untouchable. As Florio noted, the divide is real. Loyalists see QB3 as temporary motivation, haters as proof he's overhyped. Peering into the crystal ball, this setup could unravel fast with the Browns' grueling early slate, Bengals, Ravens, Packers, where injuries might thrust Sanders into action. If Gabriel's traded amid interest, Sanders jumps to QB2, a scenario Eisen calls inevitable for a mid-year takeover. Zappe's presence adds a wild card. He could stabilize if Flacco falters, but analysts bet on Sanders' upside winning out. Long-term, it's a test of Stefanski's rookie development. Gabriel's trade value peaks now, potentially netting assets while elevating Sanders. The QB curse looms with 40 starters since '99, but Sanders' pedigree offers hope. If he shines in spot duty, it silences doubters. If not, Zappe or a 2026 draft pick could complicate things. This fluid room screams opportunity, but also risk in a win-now season.
This is one of the natural and foreseeable byproducts of drafting him. He comes to town with a built-in fan base. The mouth breathers, as you call them, are in tow. Not that I called them that, but you called them that.
Yeah,
They're there.
Yeah. Zooming out, this quarterback carousel spotlights broader NFL trends, the premium on versatile backups, the pitfalls of size in a physical league, and how star pedigrees like Sanders create untouchable auras. Comparisons to legends' rocky starts, Peyton Manning's preseason woes, Patrick Mahomes' gradual rise suggest Sanders' QB3 is no dead end. Gabriel's buzz draws parallels to undersized success stories like Russell Wilson, but trade talks echo teams flipping assets for fits. Zappe's signing underscores depth paranoia in injury-prone rooms. For the Browns, it's another chapter in their quarterback saga, fueling debates on Stefanski's vision versus fan pressure. Sanders' massive following protects him, but performance will dictate if he breaks the curse or joins the list. So, as the Browns gear up for kickoff, this depth chart drama leaves more questions than answers. Is Sanders' QB3 a temporary setback or a sign he's not ready for the spotlight? Will Gabriel's trade whispers become reality, paving Sanders' path to glory? One injury, one deal, and everything flips. What's your take? Buried talent or smart coaching? Hit the comments, subscribe for more breakdowns, and let's see if Sanders turns this snub into stardom.